How's it going, guys? It's Burgas here and welcome to another Heroes of History Epic Empire video. Today we're going to talk about beginners and beginners mistake, one of the most popular beginner mistakes in the game. And one of the biggest mistakes, let's start with the biggest mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I see new players make in Heroes of History Epic Empire isn't choosing a wrong hero, isn't missing an event, and it isn't even having bad luck with summons. It's spending resources the moment they get them. At first that feels like progress, every upgrade increase your account power, unlock another level, or make a hero look stronger. But after playing for a while, you will start noticing something strange. Players with accounts similar to yours suddenly pull ahead. Now we're going to start with the mistakes almost every beginner make without even realizing it. Then we will talk about why upgrading more heroes doesn't make your account stronger. After that, we would look at event planning, premium resources, and why experienced players always seems prepared when the biggest opportunities arrives. And finally, we will tie everything together into simple resource philosophy that will help you to make better decisions every single day, no matter where you are in the game. Before we jump into the first mistake, if you enjoy strategy guides that focus on building a strong account instead of simply chasing a new hero, make sure to subscribe. My goal with this channel is to help you make better long-term decisions so you can avoid mistakes that slow down progression and get more value from every resource you earn. The first mistake is also the easiest one to make. You unlock a new hero, you immediately spend food to level up them, you collect mastery points, you immediately use it, you earn upgrade materials, they disappear from your inventory within the minutes. At first, those feel like progress because your account is constantly changing, but constant upgrading isn't the same as meaningful progression. And here is the thing, especially at the beginning, it's very important to have some idea about the heroes. And this is where YouTube videos or some extra information from somewhere or just asking in the Discord is coming into the place, because you're going to see different heroes, you're going to see the ability, you start going to adapt. I mean, the game is not that, hard at the it's not that hard. You see defender is basically defender, heavy infantry, this is the troop, and etc. I'm not going to go that much in deep, but the mistake I see is people get couple heroes and the majority of the cases they look the ability and they decide do they like this ability that much or not. But here is the thing, and one of the reasons I'm making this tier list. Now normally you have on the field like 5 heroes. Okay, so I should, when I make my tier list, I should make these 5 heroes is S tier, these 5 heroes is A tier. But it's going to become a very big tier list. But on top of that, I make tier lists so people know which heroes are the most flexible heroes in the game. So this hero, if you use it in the different compositions, he's still going to perform very good. But at the beginning, a lot of people are just spending everything they have over the heroes. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with that, but at the beginning, just get 5 heroes and don't over expand over this. When you start playing the game even going to give you some suggestions. You're going to get Leonidas at the beginning. Also, you're going to get Nea as a healer. So you're having a healer. Leonidas is not a tank, to be fair. But yeah, you're going to have a healer and one melee hero. From there, if you get lucky, you can get Otto. But yeah, the point is don't expand over 5 heroes and don't put everything immediately at the hero. As you can see, even I have the mastery points, 252k. Sometimes people ask me under my video, yo Burgas, why you have that many mastery points? And the simple answer here is, at the moment I'm saving them. I'm at the position where I already have builded heroes. So the moment I get a new hero, like right now I have Odysseus, I'm going to spend some points on this hero, and maybe I'm going to try to finish him that very fast. But at the moment, I don't have this crazy good hero that I want to make his spell level 40, for example. That's why I'm saving my resources. That's why I'm saving other resources also, just to have a flexibility in the future. The next mistake usually happens once your roster starts growing. You unlock another legendary, then another useful epic. Suddenly every hero looks like they deserve the resources. Before long, instead of building one strong team, you're building 6 unfinished one. This feels safer because you have more options, but in reality it's usually slowed down your progress. Now, this is something that I was lucky I didn't actually do, because, I was having some idea about this game, but, I have a lot of viewers asking me some questions. By the way, if you have any questions, you can just write it in the comments below. And people was asking me, okay, Burgas, I'm building this hero, I'm building that hero, and when they, show me what kind of heroes they're having many level 20, 30, 40 heroes, like 20 heroes. Now, where are you actually going to need to expand your teams? Let's start from there. You're going to need to expand your teams in the Tesla Storm. This is one of the places because you're going to need 5 purple heroes, you're going to need 5 yellow, 5 red, 5 green, and 5 blue heroes. So you can progress in the Tesla Storm. But usually, if you have like Otto, for example, and Thomas Edison as a DPS, both of them are the purple. So you can go expand like 3 colors and not even think about, for example, the green one or the blue one. The other place where you're going to need more teams, but this is in the far late stage, this is going to be a treasure hunt. In the treasure hunt, right now I'm in the veteran 2 and I'm needing how much, I don't remember how many teams. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have like 4 teams in the treasure hunt, but this is very in the future where I'm going to need more heroes. At the beginning, just focus over some core editions, and I'm going to give you some ideas obviously here. You're going to need some tanks. One of the tanks I can suggest to you is actually, for example, Otto. I'm using him for so long. But the other thing, you're going to need maybe Ashoka. Ashoka is 3-star, very fast to be get it. This is the Eternalized Ashoka, but the normal one is 3-star, easy to get. And if you can get some AoE healer, single target healer, even though that you're going to have Nea, but Nea is going to be till level 40, so you're going to have some restrictions there. And some AoE damage dealers like Menace, Maria Curie, or whatever. So when you have a lot of troops that you're going to fight, you need area of attack hero. When you're facing other heroes, you're going to need majority of the time a single target hero, like for example Robin Hood, that is a single target hero. So in this case, you just need that mobility so you can progress in the campaigns, for example. And this is one of the main places you should focus when you start playing Heroes of History Epic Empire. One of the hardest resource traps to avoid is believing every new hero belongs on your account. Every upgrade introduces exciting abilities, new strategies, and fresh possibilities. It is easy to feel like you're failing behind if you don't immediately start investing, but strong accounts aren't built by collecting every new hero, they're built by knowing which hero actually improves your account. And as already mentioned, this is why I'm doing the tier list in my channel, so people can know which heroes are very good, which tanks are good, because not everything are built same. If I check it out the tanks, well, I'm not so happy with Tutankhamun, to be fair, very easy to be killed. Caesar is very solid, King Minos is very solid. Now, Herman and Grant is so there, having self-healing, but in the same time it's so okay as a tanks. So there is a different tanks. You cannot have same tanks by power, by flexibility, by everything. So that's why I'm making tier list. So not every hero deserves your attention in form of being built for you. There is a heroes like that is a very solid one, like Kavyuk. I really like Kavyuk. I don't have him, but he's very solid hero. And there is a heroes like Ragnar Lodbrok. Now some people is going to say, but Burgess, he is good. Well, for me, it's not that good hero at the end of the day. I mean, not good tank at the end of the day. So yeah, know the heroes, or at least have a ask some other people, ask your alliance, or just check out my tier list. You're going to need one tank, you're going to need healer, you're going to need DPS. This is everything you need in your 5 hero composition. In the late stage, you may actually need, when you grow up a little more bigger, you're going to need supports, you may be going to need buff or debuff, and this type of heroes. One of the biggest difference between beginner account and experienced account isn't how many resources they have, is how far ahead they're planning. Beginners usually make decisions based on what they can upgrade to date. Experienced players often make decisions based on what they will want to upgrade next week. Heroes of History constantly reward players who prepare before an event begins. And I'm going to give you an example with me basically. Since my account, I cannot say it's a late game. I can say it's maybe around mid game, but I already start preparing again because I have a lot of heroes that is helping me progressing right now. But if you check out my summonings, this is one of the places that in a lot of events is giving you tons of points. There is just so many events that ask you those summons, and we're going to give you points. And this is one of the main reasons I'm currently having like close to 250 of these antimatters. In same time, I have one of these legendary. Here I don't have nothing. Here I have like 10. My point is, I already save my antimatters and I'm preparing, so when some good event come, I'm going to have the flexibility to compete with other heroes or with other players. This is very important because something that I notice in this game is the first place is giving tons of rewards, the second place is giving absolutely close to nothing, let's say it like this. So if you really want to compete, you just have to be on the first place, and that's why I'm saving my antimatters. If some externalizing hero appear that I really want, like Ashoka, I will be prepared. And when Ashoka event was there, I actually finished on the first place. I even have a video on my channel. You can go check it out after this one. The next mistake is some resources are easy to earn back. Others can take weeks or even months to replace. That's why one of the most expensive beginner mistakes is treating every resource the same. Thinking like food is basic upgrade material can usually be recovered over time. But premium resources like antimatter, flux portals, pools, rare relic materials, or other limited concurrencies deserve much more thought before you spend them. A lot of players use them simply because they're available. Later, a strong hero arrives, a better relic come available, or even event appear that would have give much better value. Suddenly, those resources are gone, and replacing them isn't easy. Now, one of the bottlenecks I was having in this game was actually folios, especially right now. If I want to level up, for example, Julius Caesar to the next level, I'm going to need 3 folio of enlightenment. The previous level, I think, if you want to go from level 50 to level 60 or making the hero level 60, you're going to need folios again. This is maybe Robin Hood. Yeah, you need like 2 folios here, and I think at level 40 you still, or level 50, no, I guess level 40, it still request like 1 folio. Now this is a material that is not that easy to be get. Now you see that I have 34, but this is because I'm active. I'm active player, and at this point I didn't push heroes, and I need so many heroes to push. I really want to get Sakagawage. I really want to have Abraham Lincoln level it up. Right now I have Odysseus. I really want to level up this hero. I have so many other legendary. My Harpy is a hero that I really want to level up also. So, and who else? There is a this one, Benjamin Franklin, still legendary. Not so sure. Napoleon, I want to level up for sure. I mean, Annie Bonnie, such to, there is just so many heroes that right now the thing that stopped me is actually the food and the heroes that I focus. But by looking, I have like 34 follows of alignment, but they're maybe not going to be enough to even level up like 20%. Okay, 20% maybe is going to be enough, but let's say 30% from what I have in my mind that I really want to level up. That's why you have to be extremely careful with the resources. And something that I can suggest you is just at the beginning, see which resources are easy to be getting. As you can see, those tickets for auto winning is easy to be get it, so there is no issue to spend them because every day you're going to get decent amount. Food and gold same, but it strongly depends where you're going to basically waste them. Other things, now this one, research points, is hard to get. Now maybe I'm going to make video which is the most hard resources to be get it, but yeah, this is the goods, research materials. Station materials is something that is hard to be get it. For example, for this Shadow Dio, Fragnarti, those things is hard to be get it. Those things are hard to be get it, so you have to be extremely careful where you spend it, because yeah, it's a very small percentage to be get it. If I go and try to get this one, I have 20% chance to actually get one of those. And if I go and do multi victories, this is like 5 multi victories. You're going to see I may not even get one. Okay, I get actually one. I get one, but you see that you spent your whole stamina to get one or two, and I need like 7. So if I don't really need this hero, I should not actually level up this hero. This is what I'm trying to say, and I think this is one of the mistakes people are making. And mistakes number 6 is thinking every resource has the same value. One mistake that easily to overlook is assuming every resource should be treated the same way. But in reality, different resources have completely different purpose. Some are meant to keep your account progressing every day, others are designed to create major power spikes when used at the right moment. If you spend everything as soon as you earn it, you lose that flexibility. And this is sounds like little like the previous point or previous mistake, but yeah, I'm valuing every resource differently. Now I have no issue with the food, for example, but I have issue with this Tesla core, for example. I have issue with follow of alignment, but I have no issue of standard quartz. Now standard quartz is something that you can basically buy for 100 of these chrono crystals, and if you summon already awakened hero, you receive basically these chrono crystals. So it's also not that hard to be get it. Basically, if I make one summon of 2-star hero and I have this 2-star hero already awakened, I'm going to get like 200, which is going to end up with 2 Stardust quartz, which is not that valuable item at the end of the day. We already talked about this material, but yeah, with every heroes you're going to have different. Right now with Medusa is those Hairball Potis, but you see again the percentage is like 20 to be get it one of them, and this one is again 20 to be get it. So you're going to see the percentage that you have to actually get this material, and you're going to make evaluation how hard is to get specific material if it's depending on stamina, because for the Tesla core you basically have to go in the Tesla and maybe I'm going to go here, and you're going to see that still till level stage 13 I'm going to still receiving those superior yellow crest. And at level 14 there is the first time I'm going to get Tesla core. So it's not that easy. I basically have my 6 Tesla cores from events. But yeah, if I go to stage 14, and this is universal, this is going to be for basically all of the heroes. It doesn't actually matter. Green, yellow, purple, whatever, you're going to be able to get Tesla core. So if you're at the stage like 4, you're very far away from the stage 14, so this is going to be valuable resource for you. At the next stage, obviously, the percentage get increased. At stage 15, you're going to have 10% to get from 1 to 2. So this is a huge power jump from 5% to 10. This is one of the jumps, and from a single one to chance to get actually 2. So you're going to notice those things, but yeah, don't evaluate all the resources the same way. One of the most precious resources in this game is actually gems. The other thing, I'm going to switch little away from, hero stations, and I'm needing gem to open more territory or expansions. And it's very hard to get those gems. The way you can get them is by rewards from here, and yeah, you get some gems, like 50 gems. This is the places that come to my mind immediately. This is one of the places where you can get gems. The other place is when you finish some campaigning. At the end, you're going to have chance to get 50 gems again. But 50 gems is not that much when the game asks you for 990 of gems to unlock this expansion. So the gems is extremely important. Don't waste it on for example, finishing a building or buying some luxury buildings. Luxury buildings, when you buy them, the only way to level up them is with gems. This is what I remember, because I have just one luxury building and I sell it at the end of the day, and I didn't even get gems, if I remember right. The next mistake is to measuring progress by account power instead of results. The worst mistake isn't really about resources, it's about how you measure whether those resources when well spent or not. A lot of beginners look at their account power after every update or upgrade. The bigger the number gets, the happier they are. But accounts power doesn't clean campaignings. It doesn't clean Atlantis. It doesn't clean treasure hunt. Results do. That's why every time you spend resources, your goal shouldn't be to increase your power. Your goal should be to solve a problem. This is extremely important for your account, and this is where your whole strategy in your head come to place. It's not about the resources, it's where you spend those resources. Obviously, it's going to be over heroes or over equipment or maybe relics, whatever you decide you can spend your resources. But the most important thing at the end of the day is how far you're getting in your campaigning. How far you progress here. Do you do normal difficulty? There is also hard difficulty. And the more faster you progress here, the more faster you're going to get more research points. You're going to get more of these expansions, and by using those expansions you're going to have more buildings, you're going to have more gems because you're going to finish more faster, you're going to have a lot of things way more. And this is just the campaigning. Same for the Tesla Storm, the treasure hunt. Especially the treasure hunt, I think, is one of the best places to get very good resources. Right now I'm just going to maybe do I have healer? Okay, I actually don't have healer. I guess my healer get killed somewhere, so I'm going to just put Nea here and pray that we're going to win here. But yeah, we're going to win. So here you're going to get those coins. Okay, Thomas Edison just died, but it is what it is. I'm going to show you what is the important parts in the treasure hunt, just to have some idea and why is that important for everybody. So when you finish this one, you're going to have some bosses that you have to defeat, and these bosses can give you 14k mastery points. This is one of the things the bosses are giving. Some of them are giving this fountain of youth that is going to give you every day some research points or some shards for summoning. There's also folio that give. This one not normally give folio. This one normally give summonings or antimatters. I mean, there is just so many rewards, and the bigger progress you're having in this game, and the more. This is my fountain of youth. Every day I'm receiving this thing, and I can actually unlock the next level, and it's also giving some some happiness. As you can see, can I unlock the next one? Okay, I don't have the next one, but you get the idea. You progress more faster in the stages, not by account power, in the stages, in the content of the game. You get more rewards, and like this, you basically progress way more faster from the rest of the people. Anyway, if you enjoy those deep strategy discussions and want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. Membership helps me to spend more time testing heroes, experimenting with different strategy, and creating more long-form guides like this for Heroes of History Epic Empire community. There's also some extra perks for members, but whatever you join or not, I really appreciate you watching and supporting the channel.